Good morning, everyone. This is Ryan McCarthy from No Credentials Required. We'll start the show in just a moment, but I feel it was important in light of recent events, what happened this past week with the tragic death of Marshawn Nealand, Dallas Cowboys defensive lineman. I just wanted I feel it was important for myself and for all of us here at Belly Up Sports to remind people that there's always somebody there to listen. There's always somebody there. It's always if there's a friend, a pastor, a coach, a parent, uncle. There's always somebody to listen to you if you're feeling like you're at your wits end. And there's also the 988 hotline 988 Lifeline, which is available in the United States. If you have any issues with mental health, if you have struggles, if you're looking for some resources, call the 988 hotline or Lifeline, excuse me, 988lifeline.org, or you can call or text 988 in the United States. Which is the crisis lifeline. And also, if you know somebody, because myself, I've lost teammates, I've lost friends to suicide, and it's very important, especially for us men, because this is the time of year when most men take their lives because they don't have anyone to talk to. So my recommendation, I just want to put it out there. If you know somebody who's going through some struggles, if you know somebody who is going through some things, call them today. Don't text them, call them. Please. Call them, meet them for coffee, meet them at the gym because your voice could be the one that saves a life today. So I want to put that out there before we start today's show. It's been a heavy week in the NFL, especially the last couple of days. So I just wanted to just remind people and say there's somebody listening. There's somebody listening. And with that, we're going to get started with this edition of No Credentials Required. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this edition of No Credentials Required, the Saturday edition, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. As always, we are presented by Belly Up Sports. Again, my name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts. To my oh, that's right. I forgot. Dustin is off today. He is going to be, he's currently, actually, let's do a live check-in while we're at it. I'll share my screen. He is currently playing video games for a local charity, for a local children's hospital. There he is on Twitch. He's playing. I don't know what he's playing. Let's just put it that way. But Dustin is doing a really great thing for Extra Life for kids. He is raising money. He's playing video games he's attempting to play video games for 24 hours, 24 straight hours. He just started about a little over an hour ago. And he's currently playing some video games. He's raising funds for Extra Life to raise money for a local children's hospital, the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center. So there's a little live check-in to see how what he's doing. And you can go to extra-life.org. Just type in his name, Dustin Henry, and you can bring up his fundraising page. His last count I saw, he's trying to reach the 1,300 mark. I'll actually put it in the show. I'll actually put it in the link in the description on the podcast side as well, and I'll also put it in the chat. So those of you who are watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, you can go ahead and make a donation. It's a tax deductible donation, and help our guy out, help the co-host out. You know, he's doing a great thing. You know, it takes a lot of courage to do great things for people, and there he is right there playing some video games. So he's doing a great job. We appreciate you, Dustin. I'm going to be stopping by later, just bringing him some treats, bringing him some support, giving him some moral support. Also bring him some, maybe we'll do a hot food takes edition impromptu of No Credentials Required on that stream. So, but we're going to get things started. We'll talk about NFL. I'm going to bring in my special guest in just a moment. But I just want to remind you, thank you for watching on Facebook, live on our YouTube channel. This will be replay on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel this afternoon, and also if you're watching on Twitter on the Belly Up Sports thank you for checking us out this morning. Before we bring in my special guest, I just want to remind you to please go to our social media pages on No Credentials Required: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also check out our other podcasts and all our other content at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and that includes Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our home, which is on Podbean. And hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube, just so you know that when live shows go up, when show clips go up, when general announcements go up. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you again. Also on the podcast side, rate, review, comment. 5-star rating helps. Reviews help whether you're listening on Podbean, on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Good Pods. Leave a review, and also if you're on Spotify, leave a comment. That way we know you're watching. And also leave a comment in the comment section on the Belly Up Sports YouTube page during this program, so you know that we're watching. And it's a live show. Tuesday on Saturdays and Tuesdays. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're a live show. We love to interact with you. We love to get your comments. We'll read them on the air if they are appropriate, because, of course, we gotta keep things safe and secure around here. But I just want to play that. I know Dustin's down in where he lives, and down in Albany. I know he's going to hear these chimes because it's chime time. All right, enough dilly-dallying. I'm going to bring in my special guest. He has been on this show before. It's been a couple of years since we brought him in. He is a Michigan native. He is the host of the Captain Lou Sports Extravaganza. Yes, it's an extravaganza, folks. We're going to bring in my friend Lou Gamelin. Lou, how are we doing this morning, sir?
Hey, Ryan, it's a treat to be with you here this morning. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. It's a Saturday morning up here in upstate New York, and it's getting chilly. The weather's starting to turn. I'm pretty sure where you are in Michigan, it's also starting to turn there. So, but that means it's football season. Like, football season's officially here, and we can really revel in it, especially the next coming 8 weeks in the NFL, and also with college football too.
Yeah, they're actually calling for a couple inches of snow here in the Lansing, Michigan area overnight tonight into tomorrow. So yeah, it's football weather. Michigan State both have the week off, mercifully for the Spartans and for Michigan. It's kind of a weird 6-2 record or 7-2 record. I don't think they're as good as their record indicates, and I'm a Michigan guy, but that just means they can focus more on tomorrow and Monday night with NFL and the Lions, hoping to get back on track after really not, in my opinion, not showing up against the Vikings. That's the worst I think the Lions have played in a couple of years. All the mistakes they made on the offensive side of the ball, and there's some infighting. There's some chirping, blaming the offensive line or offensive coordinator, taking pot shots. It's a different vibe right now in Detroit, and it's not a good one. So hopefully they can right the ship a little bit.
Yeah. We have someone in our chat named Julie. She's from the Detroit, Michigan area as well, and she was not happy about Sunday's game against the Vikings. And I watched a little on Red Zone. There's something happened. I'm not sure if they were just flat because of the bye week or what. It was not a great game for the Lions, that's for sure. The Vikings came to play. Let's put it that way.
Oh, 100%. And McCarthy I thought looked good, but
no relation, by the way.
No.
So don't bother.
I think what scares me, Ryan, the most about the game last week is, they exposed a weakness and I think a game plan that you can do against the Lions. And I'm really worried about a team like Green Bay on Thanksgiving you blitz the interior of that line. Detroit really misses Frank Ragnow at center, and they're good. That Graham Glass now he just can't do it at center. So they've got an issue there. I mean, Detroit, is as talented as any team, I believe, in the NFC as far as the skilled positions. But if you don't have the block and if you don't have the hogs up front on the offensive side, it's not going to matter. And that, they're a little banged up, but every team is right now. And so I'm not blaming that. It's been a few years since we've had this issue with Detroit with sloppy play. And, I think they're going to catch a break tomorrow with the Commanders not having Jaden Daniels. I think they're in worse shape injury-wise as Detroit. So it's a good time to catch the Commanders and get a little confidence back before they have to go play in Philadelphia a week from Sunday on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I was on Tuesday's show. I was saying how surprised I was that the Lions didn't really make any significant trade deadline moves. Did you feel like they needed to make any, or is this look, we're just banged up right now? Let's get our personnel back and let's make a run for the playoffs.
Well, I'm not really surprised because they weren't really going to get anybody on the offensive side of the ball. They didn't need any. They didn't need a skill position player. And really, there wasn't a whole lot out there, I thought, for an offensive line pickup, really. And as crazy as this sounds, Ryan, I think their defense isn't playing that badly. I think it's playing well enough. And, I know they wanted to get Hendrickson out of Cincinnati, but they didn't want to give up a first-round draft pick.
No.
I don't – and I would not have wanted that. And he's going to want a lot of money in the offseason. And, Detroit's got it there. They just committed to Hutchinson, $165 million or whatever it was.
Yep.
So I'm not totally surprised by it. I still think they're okay. I think they're a playoff team. It really is going to come down to Thanksgiving when they play the Packers. If they can win that one and stay with the Packers, I think they got a shot at hosting a playoff game. Because I'm still not sold on the Vikings and the Bears. They're playing better, but
yeah, last week it seemed like last week the NFC North just flipped.
Yeah,
between the Vikings beating the Lions, the Packers losing to the Panthers.
I can't believe that one. I don't get that one, Ryan.
I kind of do. I kind of do. I mean, Rico Dowdle could win NFC Offensive Player of the Year. This is how crazy this. Look, this is how the NFL season has gone for as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Think of it this way: you're on a highway, you're just driving, you're driving, you're just trying to get to work, trying to get to your destination, and all of a sudden somebody comes up in front of you, cuts you off, and then flips you the bird. That's the NFL and how they're and with their fans this year. The NFL is that speeding car cutting out in front of you and giving you the finger. And the rest of us are just like, what? What just happened?
I'm not trying to take anything away from the Panthers. They deserve it.
No, I can't either.
And they're 5-4, I think.
They're 5-4, half game out of the last wild card spot.
Yeah, but Green Bay has this penchant of playing to their competition. I mean, they came out so fired up against Detroit the opening week. Then they lose to the to the Browns. And then this one at home is why I'm very surprised. Good Green Bay teams never lose at home to subpar teams. And I'm going to call Carolina subpar until they prove something to me. It might bite me in the behind, but that's a game Green Bay should have won. So I can't really seriously consider them a contender for the Super Bowl when they can't take care of business at home against a mid-tier at best Carolina Panthers team.
Yeah, we got torn up in the YouTube comments a couple months ago when we reacted to Mike Tannenbaum's top 5 NFC quarterbacks. He had Jordan Love at number 1, and we said we just had to get after it. We got after it. We got after it. This was back in July, all right, or July or August. We had to react to it, and we were getting roasted by Packers fans in the comments because we both had Jalen Hurts as number 1. Yeah, because he's gone to the Super Bowl twice. He won this past year's Super Bowl. He was named MVP of that Super Bowl. And yes, he has a great cast around him, and he got Saquon Barkley in the backfield to take the pressure off of him. But at the same time, he wins.
Yeah,
he wins. He wins when it matters.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And I've always said this since back when he played at Alabama, Ryan. He is the most underrated and undervalued quarterback. All the guy does is win wherever he goes. And with Jordan Love, he's so inconsistent. And he's another one. If you can put any kind of pressure on him, he gets rattled.
Yep.
And I mean, and that's why I think when Detroit plays him on Thanksgiving, they just got to, Calvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator for Detroit's got to just dial up the heat all game long. And I think if they do that, I think they can have some success because Green Bay is going to do the same thing to Detroit. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, but that's down the road.
That's down the road. That's a couple weeks away. Yeah. And FYI, and spoil just a quick plug for our show. We will be doing a Thanksgiving live stream.
Nice.
We're actually going to be talking about the Netflix series about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys since they play on Thanksgiving Day. We're going to talk about that series and then then kind of preview the 3 Thanksgiving Day games. So it'll be on our YouTube show. But we're going to talk about we're going to transition into Week 10 of the NFL. We're going to start with Thursday night's game as the Broncos. Yes, that is the line. They bored the Raiders 10-7. And I don't know if you watch this game, Lou. I know from past, if I remember correctly, you're an early riser like me. So I don't get to see a lot of Thursday night games. I'll catch them on the I'll watch the YouTube highlights, and even the YouTube highlights were a waste of 15 minutes of my life. It was not a good game.
Well, it's funny is I set my Sirius XM on my app on my phone, so it plays for like a half hour, while I'm laying in bed. And I heard Ashton Jennings score the touchdown. I'm thinking, wow, okay, maybe the Raiders are going to pull one off. Which I'm not a huge Sean Payton fan by any stretch, and so it wouldn't have broke my heart. But oh my gosh, am I glad I didn't lose any sleep over this one. Ryan, is this the most? Is Denver the most overrated 8-2 team that you've seen? I mean, that's just kind of the look I get. Bo Nix, I think, has regressed, but you know what? They're 8-2. It's crazy. Their defense is so good, but what a snooze fest. They were booing Bo Nix in Denver. Oh my!
They did that against they did that in the Giants game too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by the Broncos. I mean, their defense, yes, very impressive. Outside of the Broncos defense, there was really nothing home to write about.
No,
I was at I go to the gym on early in the morning, and the gym I go to has an array of televisions on the far screen in the free weights area, and I'm trying to catch a peek of the Bronco of the game, and I'm going, nothing happened. Why am I watching this? Nothing happened. Get back to your deadlifts, Ryan. Nothing happened.
Is it just me? And do you think Pete Carroll's one and done?
I think so.
I do too.
I think so. Even my co-host Dustin a couple weeks ago said, "Yeah, I love Pete Carroll. I love what he did for the city of Seattle. I love the fact that he got the Seahawks to 2 Super Bowls, but I don't know if he's lost his touch, or the players aren't responding to him, or if he's just not meant for this era of the NFL." Like, I truly think, I think he's a one and done. Honestly.
I was talking to a friend of mine last night who lives out in Arizona, who's a diehard Raiders fan, and I asked him the same thing, and he echoed every one of your sentiments, and that is I think the game has passed him by, to be honest with you. So I don't know. That's a train wreck there. But I look back to Denver real quick. I look at their wins. I don't see any quality wins. We'll see what happens when they play in 10 days against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to be the measuring stick. But, yeah, definitely a snoozer Thursday night. I'm glad I didn't lose any sleep over that one.
Yeah, I looked at some of the game, and I watched the highlights. And Broncos, the defense is good. They're playing at a historic level. Let's be honest. Because they're on pace to break. Right now, they're on pace to break the 85 Bears sacks record with 72. They're at 48 after
Wow.
this game.
Wow.
They're well ahead of the next closest team. The next closest team is Detroit. I think I read they have 28 or 25.
Yeah.
The Broncos have 48 in 10 weeks. You're on almost 5 sack per
That's
game
insane.
click. And you multiply that by 17, that's 85 sacks.
Yeah.
I'm doing the math in my head. Yeah, 85 sacks. For now. Now, here's the thing. Their offense, even with Sean Payton running your offense, and all the talent they have, Bo Nix, nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
Run game could use a little more help. I mean, J.K. Dobbins, great story. Had a great comeback season last year with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Signed with the Broncos in free agency. Cortland Sutton, nothing to sneeze at. R.J. Harvey, great rookie pickup, late round pickup.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of I don't know why that Sean Payton can't get this team to. I mean, outside the Giants game where they had to score 33 points in the last quarter to win,
Yeah.
and that Cowboys game where let's face it, the Cowboys defense is not that good.
Oh, no.
Even with the pickup of Quinnen Williams this week, and I'm sad to see him go as a Jets fan, but he's had 6 straight losing seasons there, and it wears on you. And I can't blame him for wanting out.
I love the trades the Jets made. Absolutely love them.
Yeah,
I really do. But not to digress, but I love those trades.
Yeah. We talked about them on Tuesday and on Wednesday on my Jets podcast, on my Jets show. We broke them all down, and a lot of fans now saying, and then a lot of pundits also saying that the Jets could possibly use this stockpile of picks to acquire a quarterback like a Joe Burrow. Now, here's the thing: will the Bengals want to depart with Burrow, and what's the asking price? Because the Jets have 3 first-round picks the next 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Next 2 years in 2026 and 2027. And one of those picks from 2027, the Dallas first round pick, it could be either Dallas's pick or Green Bay's pick from the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah. Wow.
So we'll see what happens there. But I do have to opine a little bit about Thursday night games. And this has been a drum that I've been beating the last couple of seasons here on No Credentials Required. And I have to ask again. And I know the NFL, they have to take their money glasses off and just reevaluate Thursday night games. Why they exist, why they're so important. I mean, they're only important to Amazon because they're trying to get live sports. They had the NBA, and in Canada they had the NHL. But I have to wonder if the NFL, if they have to step back and see the quality of play that's on Thursday night games, because I think the game from 2 weeks ago, the Bengals and Steelers, that's more of an anomaly than it is the norm for Thursday night games, because either one or neither team that plays on Thursday night is fully prepared, and it shows on the field. Last week, Baltimore motorboated Miami.
Oh.
Miami did not look even close to playing. We thought to ourselves, Mike McDaniel's going to be out of a job, when it was actually Chris Greer who got the axe the next day. And then this game, neither team looked like they weren't interested in playing on Thursday night. They just wanted to stay home and get ready for Sunday or Monday. So do you agree, Lou, that the NFL really needs to kind of step back this offseason and say, look at the quality of play that they have and just kind of pack it in and leave Thursday nights to later in the season or this Thanksgiving only?
You know what? I agree with you 100% on that one. I just think it's overkill. And, the quality of the play, the proof's in the pudding. It's like you said, that the one game was an anomaly. It's very sloppy. These teams get, in essence, one day to prepare because, they have their off day after the Sunday game, and more than likely it's a walkthrough. And especially in this day and age, Ryan, where they don't hit like they used to in practices with the CBA. And I don't know if that's good or bad. We could talk about that for an hour on a different show.
Yeah.
I think that I think it is overkill. I like your idea. I think from Thanksgiving onward, maybe have a Thursday night game.
Because they have Saturday games later in the season too.
Right, exactly. To me, that's enough. That makes it a novelty. That makes it more of a must-watch because, the NFL is king. They're taking over the NBA on Christmas Day. It's people are watching it. But yeah, I think if you're a purist and a true NFL fan, you're tired of it. You're tired. I mean, it's like Monday Night Football. It used to be back when we were growing up, or at least when I was, you couldn't wait for it.
Yeah.
Now some of the games on Monday night are absolute snoozers. And you got the Sunday night game. It's I don't know. It is overkill, but there's money to be made, and that's all the NFL cares about. And it's going to Netflix and Amazon and who knows, Apple TV probably down the road, and Peacock, and oh my gosh, whoever else. Maybe you and I should get a network together and bid on a game.
Right.
It's I mean, Belly Up Sports.
How much money you got?
Wednesday Night Football on Belly Up Sports, right?
Hey, Maction is nothing to sneeze at, my friend.
Oh my!
Okay?
Don't even get me started on that. I'm a Central Michigan grad, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll watch a game, and besides the marching band and maybe 250 parents in the stands on November whatever,
yeah,
there's nobody there. And but they get paid.
Yeah, when ESPN says we'll open up our pocketbook and we'll give you some money, let's play some Wednesday games. It's like, no, football's meant for Saturdays and Sundays and the occasional Thursdays.
I agree. I took my son, this was a few years ago, back before he graduated high school. We went up to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, for the Chippewas, about an hour away from here, for our Tuesday night MAC game.
Mm-hmm.
We sat in the front row, and there was like maybe 2,000 people there. And it was about 40 degrees. It was a good night for football. What a joke. What an absolute joke. It was terrible. And so, the NFL will never get like that. But, I mean, it's just such a money grab. And it's so disheartening. It really is.
It is.
So
and
Thursdays go away, at least after Thanksgiving.
I will be shocked if the NFLPA doesn't have any pushback in the next CBA about Thursday night games. Because you're right, in regards to that, the players don't have enough time to recover from Sunday.
Yeah.
They don't have enough time to prepare to watch game film. It's like cramming for an exam in college. It's awful. It takes a physical and mental toll on your body because if you're the team that has to travel, that's one less day to get to recover.
Right.
What are you going to do? Like go recover on the plane? Are you going to do what Russell Wilson did from Denver's trip to London a couple of years ago and do high knees in the high hull while they're flying?
Oh my.
No, thank you. No, but I hope the NFLPA, for their sakes, gets somebody in leadership who will stand up to the owners and say, no, Thursday nights, they don't work for us. They don't work for us anymore. We'll plan Thanksgiving. Happily plan Thanksgiving and the occasional game late in the season. And yes, we'll play Saturday games.
This will show how strong the NFL Players Union is when that CBA is up and they want to get rid of that. I totally agree. Maybe
they need to take a lesson from Major League Baseball in some of that regard.
Oh boy!
And don't get me started on Major League Baseball.
Oh yeah, that's I'm right there with you. Enjoy next year, everybody, in MLB.
Yep. Yeah,
27 is going to be gone.
If it was good as this season was, and especially the conclusion, savor it. Like take it in, savor it, put it on DVR, put it on put them up on YouTube.
100%.
Well, we're gonna take a commercial break in just a moment, but we're gonna take a visit to the comment section real quick. James from New Jersey saying, "Well said, Ryan. Thank you. Something in my heart that I had to talk about this week, especially in light of Marshawn Nealon's tragic passing. I had to say it."
Yeah.
James also saying the bar I was in Thursday night would have been better off switching to anything else than the game on Thursday night. He also says Thursday night games are yet another gimmick that has become the norm. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I know in Canada, the CFL, they have Thursday night games up until the NFL starts. Mm-hmm. They switch over to Friday night and Saturday double headers. And sometimes they play the occasional Sunday in July and August, but Friday, Saturday is CFL. That's for sure. Yeah. And speaking of CFL, speaking of Canada, our friend Brent from the 1420 Sports Bar podcast chiming in saying it's time for fans of football to turn off games that aren't on Sundays. Awful product this week. Awful product week after week. Yeah, and like I said, Brent, do you get the occasional anomaly with some of the Thursday night games that are really good? But the last 2 weeks have been absolute. Just dog water.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's bad. And like we said, we've given our reasons. It's just, it is. The novelty is worn off, and it's just become a glut. It really
Yep.
has.
Yep. It's just the reason for Amazon, just the reason for Jeff Bezos to throw some more money that he has used endless amounts of
Right.
to get a product on Amazon. All right, we're going to take our commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the rest of Week 10, what we're looking forward to, what we're not looking forward to. I'm going to reveal our picks for the Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge for Dustin and I, and we'll also talk about our favorite athletes to wear the number 81. So stand by and stay tuned for more No Credentials Required. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air-roasted, 100% money-back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order. That's right, folks. Invader Coffee, one of our longest affiliate partners here at No Credentials Required, and also with Belly Up Sports. Listen, a good cup of coffee is hard to come by these days. A good cup of coffee is pricier than it was, depending on where you go to, whether it be a local coffee shop or those big box stores that you see in the supermarket, or your local Seattle Coffee Bean Company. But listen, Invader Coffee is some of the best coffee I've ever had. I'm saying it. I tried the product. We here at No Credentials Required, we want to try the product before we put our name to it as an affiliate sponsor. And I bought a bag of Invader Coffee in 2020, and I said, all right, we're going to jump on board. We're going to be an affiliate sponsor. We're going to have them be an affiliate sponsor of the show. Again, veteran-owned coffee company. You love your country? Of course you do. Do you love what the veterans have done for you? Of course you did. What do they do after? What are the three industries they usually go into when they get out of the service? Beer, distillery, and coffee. Invader Coffee, based out of Austin, Texas. They are one of those companies. And hey, the holidays are coming soon. They actually just released their holiday blends of Bad Santa, which is one of my favorite blends, the Jolly Java, and the Cookie Crumble. Don't worry, folks, the Pumpkin Pecan is still out there for those of you who want to hold on to that fall feeling before the Christmas creep comes in. And I'm drinking one of their new blends, one of their seasonal blends, or their limited releases, the Wallace Scottish Brandy Blend. It is delightful. So what you want to do is go to the link in the description. That's our affiliate link for Invader Coffee. And also what you're going to do is save 15% off your order with promo code NOCREDS at checkout. You get 15%. You save a little bit off the shipping. And it comes to your door in a matter of days, not a matter of weeks. And it's the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. So again, trust us. It's the No Credentials Required seal of approval. But trust us here at No Credentials Required. It's great coffee. You could buy some of it today using our affiliate link in the description. Playmaker checking in from Florida saying, "What's good, No Cred Bros? That's good, Playmaker. Happy birthday, Playmaker. You know, he celebrated his birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Playmaker. Appreciate you joining us here at No Credentials Required with special guest Lou Gamelin, Captain Lou from the Captain Lou Sports Extravaganza. Appreciate him stopping by. All right, let's talk about the rest of Week 10 in the NFL. The most intriguing matchups. We're going to start off with that. So, Lou, I'm going to give you the floor here. Which game in the NFL this week do you have your eye on?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not probably going to watch a lot of it because it's at the same time as the Lions and the Commanders tomorrow.
Fair.
I'm really intrigued with the Rams at the 49ers. I like what Mac Jones is doing at San Francisco. And again, you talk about all he's doing is winning. He stepped in. They're 6-3. This is a big game. The Rams are going to San Francisco. The Rams are 4.5-point road favorite in this one. They're clicking. And I want to see what San Francisco can do against this Rams defense. And Let's see if let's say they win
Mhm.
and they go to 7-3. Brock Purdy's turf toe all of a sudden isn't quite ready again in another week.
Yep.
You ride the hot hand. That's why I'm kind of looking at this one. I think Stafford's playing well. This is going to be a fun game to keep an eye on. I'll have the Red Zone channel on the other channel with the Lions and the Commanders on our Fox affiliate here in Lansing. But that's the one that I'm really intrigued at because Mac Jones going down the same road maybe as Sam Darnold, where he's getting a second chance
Mm-hmm.
and, could parlay this into a big contract or a bigger contract in the offseason to be a starter with another team. Or maybe even San Francisco. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could Wally Pipp? I know it's a reach, but he could Wally Pipp Brock Purdy after he signed that big mega deal. But
I know that's the tough part about this conundrum that the 49ers are in. If Mac Jones continues to play the way he's been playing the rest of the season, if Brock Purdy isn't healthy, what do they do? What do they do?
Right.
It's going to be interesting battle in training camp next season. It reminds me of the 1991 New York Giants, and I'm old enough to remember this team. Jeff Hostetler and Phil Simms battle it out in training camp, and Ray Handley, who took over for Bill Parcells, who resigned after that Super Bowl 25 win that Hostetler led the Giants to, let them battle it out. And Hostetler wound up winning the starting job, which parlayed into a giant contract with the Los Angeles Raiders the next season. Phil Simms actually wound up concluding his career with the Giants. Didn't play much in 91, but he did play in 92 and 93 before retiring after the 93 season. So that's impending quarterback battle could loom large down the road. And a playmaker who is a Rams fan. He's based in Florida, but he's a Rams fan. He says, "I can't argue with anything Captain Lou says. Sean McVay, Chris Shula, don't screw this up."
And it's funny because it's bittersweet with Matthew Stafford. I'm happy he won the Super Bowl with LA, and he wasn't going to do anything more with Detroit. And it was, seeing him come back to Detroit, I actually got to go to that playoff game. And so I still root for Stafford as long as they're not playing the Lions. Mm-hmm. But I just think this is a cool matchup on Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to keep one eyeball on it from time to time at 4:25. Yeah.
And I just looked at Twitter real quick, and apparently, according to the Commanders, President Trump's going to be at that game in Washington. So, but it's like, why would you want to go to that dump?
Yeah, really.
It's not a great stadium, from what I understand. There's a lot of things wrong with it, which is why they're lobbying hard to get a stadium back in Washington, in downtown Washington, D.C. I get it, though. Yeah. My most intriguing matchup this week, it's not what anybody would really have. It doesn't look sexy. All right, but I got my eye on Ravens Vikings.
That's funny. I thought about that one too. Great pick, right? Great pick.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. The Vikings, are they back? I don't know. JJ McCarthy, no relation, played really well last week against the Lions, and Lamar Jackson's came back this week. We had two quarterbacks come back last week that played very, very well against their opponent. Lamar Jackson had a great game against the Dolphins, as he always seems to do. Even though he has a 3-2 record lifetime, he still has 18 touchdowns to 1 interception against the Dolphins. I would say he owns that team, but he plays very well against them. Now he's playing against I would say a little bit banged up Vikings unit, but they played well against your Lions last week. I gotta give them credit where credit's due. A couple block kicks, a block kick that had a couple fumbles, a couple turnovers, and can they contain Lamar Jackson? And are the Ravens starting to come back? Are they starting to come back to their form that we are used to seeing? They're now 3-5. They're 2 games back. I think 2 games or 1.5 games back of the Steelers for first in the North, and they still have to play the Steelers twice. So you have to wonder, are the Ravens going to be, was last week the start of the ascent for the Ravens, which were my Super Bowl pick for the AFC. Just like the Baltimore Orioles were my pick for the AL in my baseball preview. Baltimore hates us now. I don't know if you know about that, Lou. The city of Baltimore hates us for me and Dustin for picking the Orioles and the Ravens. But hey, look, there's still 8 weeks to go, Ravens fans. So your team could still pull out wins the rest of the season and then march on to the playoffs and march on to Santa Clara from there. So, but it starts against the Vikings. Yeah. It has to start against the Vikings. They're traveling to Minnesota. So I'm curious to see how JJ McCarthy will play against I wouldn't say they're not rapidly improving health-wise, but they're getting back to health. They're not playing a Dolphins offense that peaked when they put that 70 burger on the Broncos a couple seasons ago. They're playing a come see, come saw Vikings offense. So I'm curious to see how the Ravens will have this either one of these two teams who are still trying to fight for a playoff spot play on Sunday. I'll be watching on Red Zone because I'm switching back and forth between Red Zone and the Jets and the Browns because somebody has to watch that game.
Take the over in that Vikings game. I think if you're going to put a pizza pie on that one, bet the over.
Yeah. James saying in the comments saying Eagles modus operandi on Monday night should be to take the football and push it somewhere else, shove it down Green Bay's throat, and silence their caterwauling from the offseason. Yes, the Green Bay Packers were the team to be revealed to have this vote against the tush push, and owners said no, we're going to keep it.
Yeah,
but I think there's going to be a lot of evaluating in the offseason about it because there's still a lot of discussion about whether or not it's a false start when they when they hike the football, but it's in real time, so it's just a lot of and also when play stops, because we had that crucial call a couple weeks ago in the Giants-Eagles game where it looked like Kayvon Thibodeau stripped Jalen Hurts and the whistle wasn't blown, but they still called it in favor of the Eagles because they said his forward progress was stopped, and we saw a very apoplectic Brian Dable on the sidelines going nuts because no, the whistle wasn't blown until after Kayvon Thibodeau stripped the ball.
Yeah, and I think that play in this year, Ryan, has become so convoluted and so controversial, and both ways. It's not against the rules right now, but to me, it still looks like a rugby play. But
yeah,
I honestly think this will be the last year you see it, and for better or for worse. And I think they're going to outlaw it and just go back to the conventional quarterback sneak, just because the NFL doesn't want controversy. And they've got enough bad looks right now, and a lot of people arguing about other things, gambling and whatnot. I think on that angle, I think you could see them probably outlawing it at the end of the year, right or wrong.
Yeah. FYI, I just put the link in the description for Dustin's fundraiser. He is now at $688, so he's just over halfway to his goal of $1,300. So if you're interested in, if you have it in, have the means to do so, we don't want you to break the bank. Just because you were asking you to, we're just asking you to, if you have the means to do it, please. I know times are tough. Go to that link in the description on Facebook and the YouTube channel, and consider donating to a good cause. And Dustin's sitting on his butt for 24 hours. Well, with the occasional stretch break and meal break to raise money for this great cause. The Friends and Family Game of the Week. This is the game that none of us, no football fan should be subject to themselves to watch, but only friends and family are interested in this game. As friends of both of our shows, Rod Peterson would say that only friends and family are interested into this game. For me, it's not Jets Browns. I'll be watching that for my Jets podcast. For me, it's one of my picks in the pick'em challenge this week, but I picked Saints Panthers because even though the Panthers are 5-4 and they're just outside of a playoff spot, neither the Saints offense nor the Panthers offense outside of Rico Dowdle is very inspiring. I believe Tyler Shugg is going to be starting this week for the Saints, based on what Kellen Moore had said. And I'm just very thankful I have Red Zone because this game is going to be ugly. Now, I said this last week about Jacksonville and Las Vegas, and for at least the first half, it looked like it was going to be the worst game I've ever watched, but it actually turned out to be a really good game. So I could be wrong again. In my pick with Saints and Panthers, but that's my pick. What about you, Lou? What's your friends and family game of the week?
I'm going to use the Chris Mad Dog Russo rules of picking games, which means since you picked that, I can't pick the same game.
Okay.
So, I hate to do it to you. I will go with your game, the Jets and the Browns.
Yeah.
That's one on Red Zone that I will not miss a play. I mean, I love Aaron Glenn. I wish him nothing but the best. I think he did really well here in Detroit as a D coordinator. I love his enthusiasm, his quirks, whatever. I love the dance he did. That's become viral.
Yep.
But I don't like the Browns. I don't like anything about the Browns. I think they're just a hapless franchise with no direction. They make the Lions look like Einstein over the last 65 years. So that's the game right there, the Browns and Jets. And
nothing against you, Lou. I don't blame you. I mean, I don't want to watch this game, but I have to.
Well, yeah,
I have to pay attention to it because I'm a fan, and B, I talk about it later.
Yeah.
On my my Jets podcast.
Yeah.
I think I'll have to go to Red Zone because I believe in my area and in the capital region area, I believe Buffalo, Miami.
Oh boy,
is going to be at the same time. So those of you in the capital region who do not want to watch Jets games, it's fine. That you'll I believe Channel 6 will be showing. Yep, they're on the same time. So Buffalo, Miami will be shown in the capital district area of New York, and I'll have to subject myself to Red Zone, which is quite all right. I like Red Zone. It soothes my sports ADD.
I love it.
And there used to be no commercials. Now it's 7 hours of NFL football and just doesn't hit right.
At least the commercials for the most part are, picture, if you will, looking kind of a thing. So it's the way of the world, Ryan. It was inevitable. And with that 4-letter network getting their fingers in it, you knew it was coming. So
we did, but this is the age we're in. Everything's commercialized. Everything is about the money. By the way, Invader Coffee, link in the description. Oh goodness. Players to watch in NFL Week 10. Lou, who you got your eye on in Week 10?
Well, I mentioned it in my intriguing matchup. I'm interested in watching Mac Jones.
Yep.
Against the Rams. Again, to try to solidify his spot. I think he's on a roll. I'm really intrigued to see how he does in that matchup against the Rams. Again, and I'm not, I'm kind of torn because I do like Stafford. And the other one, we talked about it briefly, is I want to see what Jordan Love does after that stinker against Carolina. Against a Philly defense, I think that is a little underrated. And it's a Monday night matchup under the lights. The whole world's going to be watching. So I'm going to go with those two, Mac Jones and Jordan Love.
All right. So we're going to continue this string. I've got two. We're going to continue this string of offense, the quarterback position. I'm going to keep my eye on Jacoby Brissett. Played a great game against the Cowboys on Monday night. He is the starter going forward for the Cardinals because of Kyler Murray's repeated injury issues and repeated performance issues under their current coach. Basically, Murray was drafted because Cliff Kingsbury wanted to work with him. Like, they had Josh Rosen on the team. They drafted in 2018. That old regime was gone, and they brought in Cliff Kingsbury, and he said, Kyler Murray's my guy. And at least for the first 4 seasons, it looked pretty good. But the last 3 or 4 seasons have been an absolute nightmare for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. And they bring in Jonathan Gannon from the Eagles, and he hasn't been the same. Injury issues, performance issues with their offense. And going forward, it looks like Jacoby Brissett is going to be that quarterback. And now the Cardinals have a dilemma coming up. Do they trade him? Do they trade Kyler Murray? Do they and try to draft the quarterback in 2026? Because it looks like a pretty solid, decently solid draft class for quarterbacks in 2026. And like I said, Jacoby Brissett, great performance against Dallas, who is not great, and they use the running attack to get after the Cowboys. But we've been playing a much tougher team in the Seattle Seahawks. My co-host is Dustin, being a Seahawks fan. Impressive performance last week against the Commanders on both sides of the ball. And as he probably noted on his other show with our friend Dan, Seahawks Sessions, they played a nearly perfect game on Sunday night against the Commanders.
Yeah,
I mean the Jaden Daniels injury aside, they played a pretty solid performance. They're 21-0 after the first half, and then they're up by as much as 28. And this team's that Seattle Seahawks team is rolling right now. And it just makes me always wonder, what if Joe Douglas does not trade Sam Darnold and drafts Zach Wilson? What would we have seen? Would Sam Darnold be the same quarterback now with the Jets as he is currently with the Seahawks? It's one of those what ifs that, as a Jets fan, you have to wonder about.
And I don't know. I used to not subscribe to this theory, but I just don't know if Sam Darnold ever was going to be comfortable in the New York market with the Giants or the Jets. And I think he wasn't ready for it. I don't think he was mature enough back then, too.
I mean,
maybe now he could be, but back then I just didn't think he was mature enough. And
understood. I mean, he was pretty young. I think he was only 21 or 22 when they drafted him.
Remember that Monday night game he had against our Lions?
That was the first game. That was his first game. After he threw that pick six to Darius Slay,
yeah,
he just went off.
I couldn't believe it.
I was like,
Ryan.
This is our guy. This is our guy, and things didn't work out. But now we're seeing what Sam Darnold can do with an offensive line that can protect him, a run game that can support him, and wide receivers to throw to, which is what the Jets did not do under McCagnon or under Joe Douglas, which it's sad. It's very sad.
And I think he learned something from the end of last year where, they celebrated a little prematurely before they came to Detroit.
Yeah.
And then in that playoff game, I think he may have took something from that, and
right.
I think Seattle may benefit from that, because I'm with you. I love what Seattle's doing right now. Yeah. They've won me over, and Darnold has won me over.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. Him. Another guy I'm watching this week on the defensive side of the ball is another former New York Jet. As of this past week, Sauce Gardner.
Oh boy.
Playing his first game in Germany with the Colts, playing against the Atlanta Falcons, was cleared by Colts medical staff from a concussion he suffered a couple weeks ago. The bye week always helps with concussions. He's probably going to travel against Drake London in coverage, and I just want to see how he'll fit in this defensive scheme for the Colts, especially since the Colts have several defensive starters out of this game, including Buckner, Princeton Buckner. He's got herniated disc in his back, and he might be going to the IR. So
that's rough.
Hopefully things work out for him, and he heals up and he plays the rest of the season. So that's who we're watching in week 10. And yeah, like I said, I'm just curious to see how Sauce Gardner fits in. And Jets fans are all saying, "Oh, probably gonna pick 6 in this game." We don't know that because nobody throws to him. That's the thing. Like, right? That's the one thing that Jets fans harped on him about, and it's unfair because because the quarterbacks, the opposing quarterbacks, they throw to him, they throw in his area they don't throw to him a whole lot in his area because he's always blanketing coverage on the wide receiver. So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. James saying it doesn't help Kyler Murray that Gannon is the defensive coach. True, I mean true, but at the same time, he's got to bring in personnel that's going to help your quarterback succeed. And he also says, wasn't expecting a Brinston Buckner name drop. Yeah. He's going to be out for this game against the Colts, and he might, like I said, he might be headed to the IR. I saw that last night. I'm going, oh no, that's not great for the Colts. All right, we're going to be moving on to a couple last segments before we get out of here. I need to reveal our picks, Dustin's picks and my pick for the Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge.
Because I cut the brakes! Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
Yeah, that's our cut for intro for the Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge, Lou. Forgot to warn you about that.
I love it.
So we reveal our picks. Dustin already has one on the board. He picked the Broncos to beat the Raiders. He also has the Bills to beat the Dolphins, and his upset pick, he's picking the Patriots to beat the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I hope it doesn't happen. My picks, I've got Carolina beating the Saints. I've got the Seattle Seahawks beating the Cardinals. My upset pick, which doesn't seem like an upset pick, but Green Bay is favored in this game. I'm taking the Eagles as my upset pick for the bonus point. So our Cut the Breaks Challenge is presented by Royal Retros, the king of throwbacks. You get 10% off your order with promo code CREDHEAD at checkout. And they're presenting sponsor, where both Dustin and I are vying for some gear from Royal Retros. The winner gets gear from them, but the other has to buy gear from them. I'm currently in the lead 16-15. And technically, we're tied right now with Dustin's win on Thursday night. So those are our Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge presented by Royal Retros. Again, king of throwbacks, royalretros.com, 10% off your order with promo code CREDHEAD at checkout. All right, before we get out of here, we're going to reveal our favorite athletes to wear the number 81. And it's funny that I bring on Lou for this show, because this one should be a slam dunk for pretty much every single Detroit Lions fan. So, Lou, I'm going to give you the honor of starting, and I'll reveal my pick, and I'll reveal Dustin's pick because he sent me his pick this week before our show. So, your favorite athlete to wear the number 81, sir?
Well, I'm going to give like 5 seconds pay homage to my dad, late Lions fan. And from the 50s and 60s, I'm going to go with Dick Night Train Lane for him. He wore number 81, but yeah, it's a slam dunk. It's Calvin Johnson. 9 years, 731 catches, 11,619 yards. He was cursed by playing on those bad Lions teams. They went to the playoffs a couple of times, but let's face it, they weren't nearly going to be a Super Bowl contender. He played through a lot of miserable seasons. He's got the single season yardage record for a receiver. I think he's got 1,964 yards, 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2021 Hall of Fame recipient. And he is only the third receiver to have 11 100-yard receiving games in a season. The other two are Michael Irvin and Cooper Kupp. So, wow. Yeah, that's he's my favorite number 81 of all time. And so I'm going with Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
All right. So honorable mention for me, because I'm a big hockey fan, just like you, Lou. I'm a big hockey fan. In terms of athletes to wear number 81, Phil Kessel.
Ooh,
legend, absolute legend in terms of. I mean, yeah, you see the jokes, you see the memes, but the guy was an incredible goal scorer, and also if you read some of the stories of other players talking about him, he's absolutely hilarious.
I love Phil Kessel. His uncle was a starting quarterback for Northern Michigan University back in 1981.
Oh, wow.
That went to the D2 championship game, I believe it was. So, wow. Cool.
Yeah. Phil Kessel, 3-time Cup winner, played with the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, Penguins, Coyotes and finished his career in 2023 with the Vegas Golden Knights. And his nicknames, Phil the Thrill, Kess, the Legend, Philly Cheese, and Hot Dog Boy.
I love them all.
I love them all. Oh, yeah. But my favorite athlete to wear the number 81 is another legend in football. That would be Mr. Tim Brown, Mr. Raider, as he's known as, or Touchdown Timmy. Won the Heisman Trophy in 87 when the Heisman Trophy was not a glorified quarterback award. He won the Heisman Trophy in 1987 as the best college football player in the nation. Unbelievable career at Notre Dame. Drafted 6th overall by the Raiders in 1988. But somehow he was voted 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. You want to know who won the Rookie of the Year in 1988? John Stevens from the New England Patriots. Ran for over 1,200 yards that year. He finished. Tim Brown finished 4th to John Stevens, Keith Jackson, the tight end from the Eagles, and later the Dolphins, and Ickey Woods, who had a great rookie season and they couldn't follow it up after that.
No.
But here's his career stats for Mr. Tim Brown in the regular season: 1,094 receptions, 14,934 yards, 100 touchdowns. That includes 50 rushes for 190 yards and a touchdown. In the playoffs, 12 playoff career games, 45 receptions, 581 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rush, 6 yards, and 1 touchdown. 9-time Pro Bowler, all 90s team, a 2015 Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee. You want to know who's in the same class as? Jerome Bettis, Charles Haley, Junior Seau, Will Shields, and Mick Tingelhoff.
Ooh, that's a stout class there, Ryan. I love it.
Stellar class right there.
Yes.
I think Seau's was posthumous because he had.
You're right.
Unfortunately, we lost him in 2014 and earlier. For Dustin, he picked a Seattle Seahawk, of course, but his is for a special reason. He picked Corin Robinson from the Seattle Seahawks and later the Vikings, and concluded his career in 2008 with the Seahawks. Drafted 9th overall by Seattle in 2001 out of North Carolina State. 294 career receptions for 4,244 yards and 16 touchdowns. He holds the Seattle Seahawks team record for longest passing and receiving play from scrimmage, which was a 90-yard touchdown reception on the first play from scrimmage for the Seahawks against the Philadelphia Eagles, which actually the anniversary just passed recently, November 2nd, 2008. And another special reason for Dustin, it was his first NFL jersey purchase was Corin Robinson.
That's cool. That's awesome. Great numbers, man. Great players.
And James in the comment section was his usual Eagles one. James Avant, for me, one of the best third down receivers of his generation, redeemed number 81 after the Terrell Owens fallout. Chip Kelly never should have traded him. Chip Kelly's now in Las Vegas with that cursed offense he has to run with Geno Smith at quarterback. So, all right, we're going to get out of here. Before I do that, I want to give Lou the chance to plug his stuff, where you can find him, where his podcast is at. So, Lou, you have the floor, my friend.
Well, thank you. Before I do that, I just want to tell you my upset pick of the week, Ryan, is I am taking the Jets over Cleveland tomorrow.
Hey,
the Jets are getting 2.5 points, I believe. That's going to be one of my Presley's parlay bets for a pizza pie and a dog biscuit that's on my YouTube channel.
Nice.
Thank you for the platform real quick, Ryan. Yeah, we're on the YouTube channel is the Captain Lou Sports Network. We do the Captain Lou Extravaganza Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock with myself and my tag team partner at times, Mitch Bernstein. As we get a lot of great guests. We've had some fun ones archived. We had recently Rich Podolsky, who wrote Madden and Summerall. Great book. We had him as a guest to check that out as an archived show. Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock. Tuesday nights during hockey season, college hockey, we do the ACHA Power Play. We're in our 10th season there. That's we get some great guests there. 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. And 2 or 3 times a week, we do what we call an extravagant few minutes episode where we give our picks, just the latest of what's going on in the world of sports. usually Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 5 o'clock Eastern time. So again, Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube, and catch us there. And we invite you to subscribe. I think you'll enjoy it.
All right. Thanks again, Captain Lou, for filling in this morning for Dustin. I do appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we're going to get out of here as well. But before we do that, just want to remind you about our social media channels, which are right here: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also check out our other content, both written and in podcast form, at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our host, which is Podbean. And hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when the shows go live, when we have clips go up, and when we have general announcements. But I'm going to get out of here. I'll be joining my friend Dustin a little bit later tonight. I'll be at his house playing some Fall Guys and just shooting the just BSing, of course. But thank you for tuning in to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. Back on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be reviewing all of Week 10. Hopefully, it's not as frenetic as the trade deadline was, especially if you're a New York Jets fan. But we'll be here talking the rest of the NFL in Week 10. For Captain Lou Gamelin, I'm Ryan McCarthy. Thanks again for joining us. Have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy all the football. Be safe, and we'll see you on Tuesday.